Here today, you all just broke ground for the facility that you are. Can you kind of just tell us about that?
Absolutely. So, a nuclear command and control facility supporting U.S. Strategic Command. It'll be an alert facility for crews that man the E-4 aircraft. Very important mission for the United States of America, protecting our nation and in the event, in the unfortunate event that we go into a conflict involving nuclear weapons. So very, very important facility, one that was destroyed during the flood several years ago. We're very excited to get this project underway.
Are you able to give us any logistics regarding the building, how big it is, how much it'll take?
I don't have the statistics for you on the size of the facility. I know it's going to cost about $150 million, but it will house, again, these alert crews and everything required to ensure that they can stay there during their alert periods, places for them to eat, sleep, and just wait, and be prepared to accomplish their mission.
Now, when is this project supposed to be completed?
We expect it to be completed middle part of 2026. So it will be a fairly involved construction process over the next couple of years.
Can you kind of just talk about how you all are going to handle this? Is it who's taking part in helping you all build this? Is this something that maybe the Air Force is doing?
Sure. Well, this is an Air Force project, but we're accomplishing the project through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They're our partners in this. They award the contract. And they awarded the contract to Walsh Federal. That's the contractor that's going to be doing the actual construction. And that was who was with us here today as part of the groundbreaking. So Walsh Federal will be the folks actually turning the dirt and putting the steel and the concrete up. Corps of Engineers will be out there ensuring that they're delivering what was paid for. Our job in the Air Force is then to make sure that the mission that's being supported is actually being accommodated the way we want it to be accommodated through the construction.
So with the new building, are you getting added capabilities, things you couldn't do maybe with the old facilities?
Yeah, it'll obviously be modernized. We'll be consolidating functions that weren't all in the same place before the flood. But the most important thing is giving them a place to have an alert facility that they haven't had since the flood back in 2019. The situation that they're in today, they're distributed across the installation in temporary facilities, getting the mission done, but obviously not in a way that it's suboptimal from a facility standpoint. So we're excited to get them into a brand new facility.
And speaking of flood, how is this facility, say, resistant to?
Absolutely.
Like, what are some of the things you've done?
Well, if you have an opportunity to take a look, you can see where we brought in a lot of dirt. So we filled this area in and raised it up above the flood level that happened back in 2019. So that work, on top of the levee work that's gone on in and around the installation, should ensure that this facility is not susceptible to flooding into the future.
Is this something that's good for the community? I suppose it could have gone other places other than the building you're on.
Sure.
A ton of jobs and it's
exciting. No, so we do know after the flood happened back in 2019, there was almost immediately a commitment from the Air Force to keep the missions here that had been here. And so that was never really in doubt. So we're very, very pleased to see that this facility will be going back to Offutt, or staying here at Offutt Air Force Base, and we'll be here for the foreseeable future.
I have a question. You're talking a lot about the flood. Kind of what challenges are you all, I guess, still currently facing not having this building? What does that struggle look like?
Yeah, you really have to talk to the folks that kind of operate that mission to understand that completely. What I can tell you, though, is we have folks put in the folks that will be inside this facility, operating inside this facility, are operating out of temporary facilities now around the installation where they could find space, and they're getting the mission done. They've been doing that since 2019. But doing it in a way that creates additional hardship for the individuals involved in this mission. So having a facility for them will not only make their lives easier, but make them more effective at their mission.
You touched on it briefly about what they do in the unfortunate case of if there is a nuclear war, but can you give us some, for instances, on how these folks monitor and what they do, the role they play?
I apologize, I can't. I'm an engineer responsible for putting this facility together. I'm not as well versed in the mission of the NC3 so you'd have to talk to some of the folks associated with that mission.
Can you kind of talk a little bit, because I know you said you're an engineer, can you kind of talk a little bit about the construction of the building?
Sure.
I guess, like, what's going to be newer maybe versus in the old building, or maybe even as far as the layout. Why did you all choose the layout?
Yeah, you know, it's a pretty straightforward facility. Again, it consolidates some functions that were spread amongst several facilities before the flood. So we're pulling those together to make it more effective and more efficient for the mission that it's supporting. It'll be a modern facility, right, with all the conveniences associated that you would, that you would associate with an up-to-date, modern, state-of-the-art facility. It'll have an added benefit. You know, again, these crews have to stay here for extended periods of time, sitting what's called alert. You know, so they're available 24/7 if they're needed. This facility will have opportunities for families to come visit these folks. That's something unique because this will be a high security area when it's complete. So we've added that accommodation in there as well. So to try to improve the quality or assist, enhance the quality of life of the crews when they're sitting here in their alert staff.